1, 2, 3, show you all my tricks. 3, 5, 4, we're giants at the door in amazement. 'Cause I'm on fire.
For a good year now, a new wind has been blowing at the Ajax Academy. Like never before, records are being kept of players' strengths and weaknesses. And so over the past 2 weeks, the lads were tested. At the heart of it all, the so-called skills box.
It's a model with a number of variables in technical skills, tactical skills, athletic skills and mental skills. That's it in a nutshell. For each category, we examine the elements and we try to find the right test for all those elements. That's what's going on right now, and that way we get a complete picture of the player.
And for one element of that complete picture, the entire Ajax Academy, from the under-8s all the way up to the under-19s, had to report to pitch number 2.
Here you can see a test setup. One of the elements of the skills box is that we test the technical ability. We started this last year, partly with Cruijff's input. We're developing that further now, and we want to record the players' skills outside of the matches. That's one of the elements that are important to the development and growth of our players. Behind me, you can see Ronald is working on the drop ball. That's a skill that's important for football players. We test it for both the left foot and the right foot. We look at accuracy and technical execution. Everything's recorded, and the lads take their own piece of paper around the various stations. The scores are then written down. The trainers are posted at the same equipment as much as possible so they can assess consistently. It's not a scientific test as such, but it gives us a general idea of their strengths and weaknesses. We then process the data and enter them into the individual plans.
En die gegevens waar ze dan mee komen, die verwerken we. En dat komt dan in hun individuele plan terecht.
Of course, they differentiate between what's expected of the younger and of the older players. For example, the distance for a number of technical exercises is shorter for the youngsters than for the older boys. The scores are immediately passed on to the trainers and the players.
The scores offer the players insight into the things they still need to work on. As they progress, the position-specific skills become more important. The lads see that and want to improve their scores, so they're motivated to put in the extra work.
But the data offer the staff a wealth of information too.
We use this data internally in order to set our course. If we see that passing and kicking is still a problem for the older players, then we can already act on that with the younger players. Individually, it has great value too. If a player sees that for his position it's important to be two-footed or to be better in the dribble, then they can incorporate that into their individual week plan. It creates self-awareness, and that's important to us, that the players take the initiative in their own developmental process. That's called self-regulation, and many books have been written on the subject, so I won't go into that right now. This test helps with that. It's only a small element because tactics are another, larger element, for example, but this is part of the whole.
Tactiek is een ander groter onderdeel. En dit is een klein onderdeel van het geheel.
And to help with that, a small battalion of new coaches has been contracted. They come from all different kinds of disciplines and support the current staff at the Ajax Academy. Some examples of former world champion judo Guillaume Elmont, former 800 meters European champion Bram Som, triathlete Freek de Boer